And a minute's been up. So, we talked about how many beats each one of these notes in the rest gets, or rhythmic durations get. And we talked about the whole note being called a whole note because it gets 4 beats. The half note being called a half note because it's half the value of the whole note. Quarter note being called a quarter note because it's a quarter of the value of the whole note. Eighth note being called that because it's at 1/8 of that. Fractions, fractions, fractions. All right, everything in music's divided up into math some way. Now let me make you a diagram that makes more sense. Okay, let me erase this. Yeah, we'll erase it off. We'll just use the notes as examples. Remember, everything's the same with the rest. It's just they're silent. Okay, so let's draw a whole note up here. There we go. Whole note. It's called a whole note because it lasts 4 beats. Because it takes up a whole measure. Now, a half note's called a half note because it's half of a whole note. Say it again. A half note is called a half note because it's half of a whole note. Now, so what I'm going to do is split the half note visually. If I split that in half, I'm going to get 2 half notes. Alright. Don't forget, 4 beats. Alright. Don't forget, this gets 2 beats. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Now, let's split it up again. Let's split up these half notes. What do you think we're going to get? I hope you answered quarter note, because that's the answer. Quarter note. So if you split the half note up, you get 2 quarter notes. Because a quarter note is half of a half note. It's 1 beat. Now, don't forget the reason it's called a quarter note is because it's 1/4. One of these notes is a quarter, 1/4. Think about it like this. Here's your fractions over here. Whole note, 1/1. Half note, 1/2. Quarter note, 1/4. Alright, see how it's all splitting off? This gets 1 beat. This started at 4 beats. Now, let's split up the quarter notes. Alright. Well, so if we keep on going with the pattern, we get 1/8. Here's our 8th note. I think it's a half a beat. So it takes 2 of these to make 1 beat. You can do the same thing with the rest right here. So let's think about this for a second. How many eighth notes could fit into a half note? Look at this side. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it takes 4 eighth notes to equal the same amount of time or same amount of beats as a half note. It only takes 2/8 notes to fill that up. And you can keep on going forever. If you're smart and you can really think about that, what do you think the next note would be? If you split all these 8th notes up, if you went one more time down, you would get a 16th note. Then you could divide it up again. You get a 32nd note, then a 64th note, and then a 128th note. The 128th note. But it all fits in there mathematically if you just think about it. Now, if you're totally lost, don't worry. It won't matter too much here in a minute. You're just going to do it. So, it's all good. So, here's how it's broken down. Why and the value of each one of these rhythmic durations, okay? And we're getting to the fun stuff now, finally. So, come back for the next lesson. See ya in a minute.